On July 10th, 2010, a blonde girl working at Barstool Sports uploaded a video to YouTube that would become a cultural marker of the platform. The video was essentially a makeup tutorial. Sitting in a poorly lit room, the creator walked viewers through the
steps you can take to be good looking, kind of.
From fake tanning to fake lashes, bleaching her hair and drawing on her eyebrows, she explained each step before cutting to the final reveal.
There's no cure for ugly, but you can make yourself into a human optical illusion.
This one-liner would ultimately go down in internet culture history, and the creator, of course, would also. This is an exploration into the history and career of the internet's OG funny hot girl, Jenna Marbles. From her beginnings at Barstool Sports to her self-cancellation and disappearance from the internet in 2020, Jenna is a creator that the internet continues to miss. So we're going to explore why. From Centennial World, I'm Lauren Meisner, and this is Infinite Scroll, a podcast about internet culture, the creator economy, and how social media is shaping Gen Z. Welcome back to Infinite Scroll, everyone. I cannot believe that we are on our 6th season. I know the podcast has evolved a lot, but still our 6th season, and we have never done a deep dive on Jenna Marbles. Jenna is such an OG. We have done deep dives into so many of the other OGs, and I don't know, it just feels like it was time. So before we get into it, as always, please remember to rate, review, and subscribe. Please star rate us on Spotify. We're trying to get to 1,000 Spotify star ratings, but we also would love an Apple review or a YouTube subscription, a YouTube comment, wherever you listen to us. Please engage. Sign up to our newsletter, which is called Infinite Scroll. On Fridays, we round up the 5 biggest think pieces on the internet that week. There's no denying that Jenna Marbles, born Jenna Nicole Mori, is a YouTube OG. Her current channel, named Jenna Marbles, was launched on February 17th, 2010. The earliest video still available, titled Charles Franklin Marbles is a Sad, Sad Man, was uploaded the next day and featured her chihuahua Marbles. However, this wasn't her original channel. In a 2015 interview with Larry King, Jenna revealed that she did have a channel using her real name. She eventually created a new one after her mother expressed concern about Jenna's online presence during her job search. As a result, Jenna named her second channel after her dog, a choice that, in hindsight, is extremely iconic. Unlike many creators today who jump into influencing fresh out of high school or college, that wasn't Jenna's experience. She earned a Bachelor of Science in Psychology from Suffolk University and a Master in Education in Sports Psychology and Counseling from Boston University. Her original goal was to work with athletes. In the same Larry King interview, she explained,
I wanted to work with athletes in performance enhancement, so helping, a hitter get out of their slump in baseball, things like that, or with kids.
But things obviously took a very different turn for her. After graduating from college, she had a variety of different jobs, ranging from bartending to go-go dancing to working at a tanning salon. But she was truly introduced to the digital world when she started working at Barstool Sports. The chronically online among us will know Barstool Sports as the producer of the BFFs podcast, which has become a central player in TikTok drama for years. The brand was founded by Dave Portnoy in 2003 as a weekly print publication distributed in the Boston metropolitan area. By the time Jenna completed her university studies, Barstool had already evolved. It had transitioned from a local print publication into an online blog and had also expanded into other cities. Since then, Barstool has become known for reporting on sports and pop culture, as well as feeding into bro culture. She started working for the company as a promo model, where she would tell people to
get in a bikini and go tell people to drink booze and have a good time.
Jenna later became Dave Portnoy's assistant and then eventually started writing blogs on stoollala.com, the company's women-oriented site. Jenna's time at Barstool has become controversial, and not necessarily because of the company's associations, but rather because of how she left things off with Dave Portnoy. In her now deleted Draw My Life video, Jenna discussed how she got the job at Barstool as well as her decision to leave the company. In it, she spoke about how she learned about the digital world through Barstool. And eventually, one day, coming home from the office, she came up with the idea for her first viral video, how to trick people into thinking you're good looking. The video, mentioned in the intro, soon blew up, currently sitting at 73 million views, and is still her most popular video on her channel. It even made it to the Barstool Sports homepage, a gesture Jenna acknowledged and thanked Dave Portnoy for in her Draw My Life video. Virality opened up new opportunities for Jenna, showing her that she could succeed by creating her own content. She did speak on this in her Draw My Life video, explaining that
I realized that it wasn't really making me happy and I wanted to make videos.
Her internet fame led to a public falling out with Dave Portnoy. He claimed credit for making the video go viral, but Jenna pushed back in an April 2011 blog post on Stool Lala. She shared viewer stats, arguing that most of her audience were women, a mostly untapped demographic for Barstool at the time. Quote, Prez always says that if Barstool hadn't posted it, no one would have seen it, and that's the whole reason it went viral, she writes. If Barstool made this video go viral, then how did so many girls see and share the video via social media, making up over 20% of views? Last time I checked, I didn't know Barstool Sports was mostly female readers, because that's who was watching my video. In a follow-up blog on Stool Lala, Dave announced that, quote, Stool Lala is dead. I actually wrote a long rant in response, but I didn't want to make people cry, so I just bit my tongue on this issue, which I never do. To this day, Dave Portnoy still claims credit for Jenna Marbles' rise to fame. In 2021, he tweeted, quote, did Barstool Sports discover and help launch the careers of the two most successful digital female content creators of the last 2 decades, Jenna Marbles and Alex Cooper. Not bad for a sexist company in a male-dominated field. Who's next? Whether or not Dave Portnoy made Jenna Marbles isn't really the point. It was her personality and the unique content she created that allowed her to truly resonate with her audience. Many of her early videos were skits, vlogs, and chatty videos. For example, one of her oldest videos, I Hate Being a Grown-Up, a comedic rap song about the struggle that comes with being an adult, has racked up 19 million views. Another fan favorite, Drunk Makeup Tutorial, has since gained nearly 25 million views. Skits and similar content styles were hugely popular in the early 2010s. Creators like Shane Dawson, who has since been canceled for many of those videos, built his platform around comedic skits that often relied on racist jokes, inappropriate humor, and harmful stereotypes. Ryan Higa, another OG YouTuber, gained a following with similar skit-based content. With that being said, Jenna's videos fit perfectly into the trending formats of the time, but what sets her apart was her ability to break the mold in certain ways. As a stereotypically attractive woman in a predominantly male-dominated online comedy space, she leaned into her relatability, whether poking fun at herself or exposing specific habits. A hot woman being goofy and weird felt unprecedented off the back of the 2000s bimbo era, making her stand out to viewers. But that is not to say that Jenna hasn't been without controversy. Reflecting on her older videos, critics have called out the sometimes racist and misogynistic undertones in her content, but more on that later. Jenna would upload every Wednesday, dubbing her upload day Sexual Wednesdays. Some of her earliest and most memorable content included her salon series, where she'd do things like give her now husband, Julian, a manicure or put acrylic nails on her toes. Other memorable moments included videos where she covered her face in rhinestones and cut and colored her own hair. And of course, her pets, Marbles, Kermit, Peach, and later Bunny, were always a big part of her videos. She'd do everything from officiating a dog wedding to reading mean comments about them. Jenna and Julian have since adopted another dog, Lonnie, but she never appeared on Jenna's channel. One of the most impressive things about Jenna over the years was that even though her content evolved, often for the better, she always stayed true to her roots. As Amy O'Leary wrote for the New York Times in 2013, quote, unlike other YouTube personalities who invest in better cameras, lighting, and production values, Miss Mori has stuck to her original lo-fi operation. During the mid to late 2010s, as the beauty community hit its peak, creators were stepping up their game and essentially turned YouTube into a full-on production. But Jenna continued to film videos in front of her bed or on her living room floor, chatting about different topics. She was the relatable and authentic figure young people were craving, long before relatability became a trend with creators like Emma Chamberlain. Quote, teenage girls love her exactly because she seems so genuine. Her videos are catnip to them, the kind of thing they discover privately in their Facebook feed, where her profanity and tell it like it is rants on sex, boys, sports bras, and makeup speak directly to her core audience, O'Leary continues. Jenna's connection with her audience was undeniable, so much so that she started breaking into more mainstream spaces. In 2015, she even got her own wax figure at Madame Tussauds, New York. But unlike many other YouTubers who saw the platform as a stepping stone to bigger things, Jenna seemed perfectly content staying on YouTube. While other creators chased Hollywood as YouTube became more legitimate, Jenna stayed grounded and committed to the digital space, even when more traditional opportunities popped up. For instance, when Jenna was given the opportunity to host a radio show on SiriusXM, it was still related to YouTube, where the show would feature the quote top and emerging breakout songs based on YouTube data. Another example was when she was signed by Creative Artists Agency, a major talent agency. When she was asked about it on Larry King, she said,
I got to a point within the internet world that I have accomplished a lot of things on my own, and it's time to have some serious backing. And honestly, if we're talking about my goals, I think just trying to see where you can go on the internet and being your own boss and, not maybe climbing a traditional ladder. I'm really interested to see what you can do by yourself and how far you can go by yourself.
For all intents and purposes, Jenna achieved this goal. While so many early internet personalities struggled to maintain relevancy and parlay their virality into long-term success, Jenna's career had longevity. This was seemingly for two reasons. Jenna's content was extremely nostalgic for millennial and Gen Z women, plus she remained humble and open to feedback. It's no surprise that nostalgia is a huge seller. Gen Z specifically are an extremely nostalgic generation. Whether it be the low-waisted jeans and baby tees reminiscent of the Y2K era or opting for a digital camera on a night out, Gen Z is always seeking a nostalgic reprieve from the chaos that comes with getting older. In a similar vein, nostalgia has become a coping mechanism for many young people today, helping them navigate a world that feels increasingly polarized, discriminatory, and stressful. One thing we can't overstate is the cultural impact that YouTube and creators held for many Gen Zs during their childhood and teenage years. For a lot of people, Jenna Marbles was probably one of the first creators they encountered, even if they were too young to fully understand her content at the time. Jenna embodies a type of nostalgia that few creators can match. Nostalgia is clearly magnetic. It keeps people coming back, even for the things that might not hold up in the same way today. We all have those TV shows or movies from our past that, despite their flaws, we can't resist watching. For many, Jenna Marbles holds that same grip. Jenna was always known as a comedic creator, but around 2018, her content went through a shift. Gone were the days of edgy, sometimes offensive humor that had been a staple of YouTube in the late 2000s and early 2010s. Instead, Jenna embraced a more unconventional approach, creating videos that, honestly, only she could pull off. These videos were a little absurd, as if she came up with the idea and simply had to do it, no matter how random. It was definitely a shift, but it also showed her audience just how much she loved creating content. Some of the standout videos from this era include transforming myself into my dog, just trying to blend into my green screen, where she wore all green and painted her face to be superimposed over images in real time, and of course, I want to be tall and I want to be a toothbrush for Halloween, where she took unconventional approaches to achieve these goals. Now, these videos were extremely entertaining, with many of them going on to receive millions of views. But part of the obsession around them was the nostalgia. Her audience, many of whom had grown up with her, were fiercely loyal and just wanted to see Jenna having fun and enjoying creating content. Other creators who perhaps didn't have such a long-term fan base would have struggled to produce unconventional content like this. Jenna, on the other hand, could make any video, and people loved it. It was also nice to see a creator being original, especially as influencers would rush to copy whatever was trending. With that being said, the relationship between nostalgia and creators is definitely an interesting one, and is worth investigating a little further. In Jenna's case, nostalgia gave her a kind of creative freedom, whether it was her bizarre video ideas or even her past controversies. The same can be said for many other creators who have benefited from longtime fans. Take David Dobrik, for example. While Jenna and David aren't comparable in terms of controversy, they share one trait: loyal fans who continue to support them no matter what. A lot of that loyalty stems from nostalgia and the deep parasocial bonds formed over the years of watching their content. David's recent return to YouTube is a case in point. David spent years off the platform after being canceled in 2021. As most people know by now, he was accused of being complicit in Dom Zegliadis' sexual assault of a college student. Under mounting pressure from mainstream media and the Frenemies podcast, David lost sponsorships, stepped down from Dispo, and posted 2 apology videos in March 2021. Then, just a month later, Vlog Squad member Jeff Wittick revealed that he had almost died in an excavator stunt gone wrong. He shared a documentary showing footage of the accident, which left him with a shattered skull and eye socket, broken bones, brain damage, and permanent vision loss in one eye. Since then, there have been reports of Jeff suing David for $10 million, as David was driving the excavator, alleging negligence and intentional harm. Despite everything, David returned to YouTube on the 8th of January, welcomed by mostly fans excited for his comeback. His first video back, titled Surprising Friends with Body Transformation, felt like classic David Dobrik content. Fast-paced, sensationalized, and aspirational. Given how far-reaching his cancellation was, and with little sign that he's changed in this new video, you'd expect widespread backlash. But instead, his comment section was immediately filled with praise, with many celebrating his return and calling his vlogs as entertaining as ever. One comment even read, quote, "Last time I watched David, I was a teenager. Now I'm an adult starting my career. Thank you, David. My childhood is complete." With this, it's clear that nostalgia can sometimes cloud our judgment as viewers, especially when it comes to holding creators accountable. Beyond David, plenty of longtime creators have been problematic yet continue to be hyped up and supported. Trisha Paytas and Tana Mojo are just a couple examples. But there's no denying that this works in the creator's favor, giving them creative freedom and, in some cases, a more forgiving audience. Fans are just happy to have content from them, often holding them to a lower standard, both in terms of what they produce and how they take accountability. When it comes to Jenna, viewers' fondness, nostalgia, and parasocial attachment definitely gave her the freedom. But that didn't stop her from staying humble and taking accountability throughout her career. One of the key reasons she remained relevant in the ever-so-fleeting digital world. Although Jenna did face a number of scandals that ultimately led her to take an indefinite hiatus from YouTube in 2020. One notable moment came in 2017, when Jenna faced criticism over animal abuse allegations. It all started when she had posted a vlog where she purchased a new pet fish. Following the advice of the pet store, she bought a tank, only to be met with a wave of backlash from online users who claimed she had chosen the wrong one. In response, Jenna posted a 47-minute-long apology video where she repeatedly expressed regret for her actions, stressing that harming the fish was never her intention. In the apology video, she hoped to make the situation, quote, a teachable moment for her viewers so that no one else would make a similar mistake. She also ended up attaching the vlog footage to the end of her apology video to help viewers unfamiliar with the situation understand. As Jenna said in the video,
all of this, again, is my fault because it's my job to be informed about the fish and where they should live and how they should live, not the person selling them to me. And I should have done a better job off the bat by just maybe going in there with an idea of what a good first fish for me to have was.
The video was well received, with many viewers genuinely surprised by how seriously she took the situation. It's rare for a creator to sit down and film an almost hour-long apology over a fish, and people took notice, especially because her response came across as sincere and earnest. As one viewer wrote, quote, "So many YouTubers make apology videos for cheating, doing terrible things, committing crimes, doing drugs, whatever else. You make an apology video for your fish. Honestly, I feel like you're the only sane person on this platform. Thank you for being precious and inspiring." The fish incident introduced the idea that Jenna genuinely cared about doing the right thing, and it was a perception that largely continued through her other scandals. For example, the most egregious controversies stem from her early content. Over the years, Jenna has faced accusations of internalized misogyny, slut-shaming, and racism in her older videos. While many of these videos have since been deleted, re-uploads continue circulating online. We don't have time to go into all the different videos, but one widely criticized example is her 2011 video, What Nicki Minaj Wants in a Man, where she impersonated Nicki Minaj by wearing a pink wig and padding her pants to create exaggerated curves. Her skin also appeared to be darker in the video, leading to a debate over whether this was intentional blackface or the result of heavy self-tanner that she used at the time. Another example is her video, Things I Don't Understand About Girls, Part 2, Slut Edition, in which Jenna made problematic statements about women and casual sex. She described being a slut as a personal choice, saying,
"I'm not making fun of you personally, I'm just making fun of your slutty choices."
But of course, the video failed to acknowledge how the term is often weaponized against women, or that many people are unfairly labeled as such. She ultimately issued an apology for these videos and other problematic content in a June 2020 video titled A Message. In this video, which was uploaded around the peak of the Black Lives Matter protests in the US, she announced her decision to take an indefinite hiatus from her YouTube channel. She opened the video by reflecting on her past, admitting,
There's things in my past I'm not proud of.
She then explained that she recently decided to private much of her old content, saying that she was trying to limit any negativity online and stop offending viewers.
I'm sorry if any of that holds any nostalgia for you, but I'm literally not trying to put out negative things into the world. I think there was a time when having all of my old content exist on the internet showed how much I have grown up as a person, which I'm very proud of. And I think now it's hard for that content to exist at all because I think people watch it and don't bother to look at when it was posted or, care about what path I took to get to where I am. It offends them now. And if that's the case, where people will watch something and be offended now, I don't want it to exist. So I've privated a lot of my old content because I just don't want anyone to feel upset about anything.
Although she did delete much of her catalog, it should be noted that many users felt she should have done so earlier, especially since she had continued to benefit from them, not necessarily financially, but through engagement and visibility. She went on to address the blackface allegations in the Nicki Minaj video too, stating that it was never her intention. She acknowledged that intent doesn't change the impact, where her actions still hurt and offended viewers. Jenna also spoke about the slut-shaming videos, saying,
"It does not reflect my attitude towards anyone in their bodies. That's really been eating me up inside for a long time. And I just wanted to tell you I'm sorry."
With this, a caveat is in order. When she posted a message, no one demanded that she issue an apology for this specific video. And taking initiative definitely went a long way for her in the public eye. Ultimately, her decision to take proactive measures helped her to appear more genuine and apologetic. Many creators have found themselves in similar situations to Jenna, but Chief Impact Officer at Forbes, Seth Cohen, highlights what sets Jenna's apology apart. Quote, "Marbles didn't just issue an apology. Her brief video also addressed specific videos and explained why the videos demand an apology. In doing so, she did what many others fail to do: own her mistakes." To many viewers, it was clear that Jenna was genuine. She took accountability and raised issues that users hadn't called out. On top of this, she followed through on her promises and actually left the internet. This behavior was extremely different from that of other creators, who apologize and promise to change but continue exhibiting problematic behavior. While Jenna's approach is positive, and honestly how creators should treat their scandals and controversies, many users would go on to claim that Jenna was driven off the internet by cancel culture, especially because she had shown so much growth. As one user put it on Reddit, quote, "She left because she canceled herself for making racist content when she was younger. While you can say it's on her own accord, that suggests she wanted to, but I feel there was a lot of negative stress and pressure on her as someone who is popular on the internet and just made her boil over and quit. I honestly feel like she probably would still be making content today if she didn't have all that pressure." Other viewers believe that Jenna didn't necessarily leave because of cancel culture. They claim that Jenna was simply burnt out and used the scandal to step back. In a discussion on the r/Jenna Marbles subreddit debating whether the negativity online pushed Jenna to quit, many users maintain that Jenna leaving the platform was inevitable. Quote, "I think she was ready for this stage of her life to be over, and the Dramageddon was the time to bow out. She was on YouTube for a very long time and started off as a very young person," one Reddit user wrote. Quote, "I think she was pretty burnt out at the end. I think she was just looking for a way out. I wish she knew we would have loved it if she had just made a video whenever she wanted," added another. Since leaving YouTube, she's ended her podcast and deleted her Instagram and Twitter, leaving fans with only updates from Julian. He shared the news about their wedding in a live stream in December 2022 and still posts updates about their dogs. But whatever the real reason behind Jenna's decision to step away, it's clear that nostalgia and her genuine approach to feedback have kept her fans captivated. Though she hasn't posted in years, anything related to her still catches people's attention. At this point, it's anyone's guess whether Jenna will ever return to the online world. And even if she does, it doesn't mean users must forgive her for her previous problematic content. But with so many fans holding out hope that one day they'll open YouTube and see her video pop up in their recommendations, it's clear that nostalgia has a powerful hold on what we choose to watch. Jenna, with all her ups and downs, will always be remembered as the woman who helped define YouTube influencer culture. The creator who actually evolved as a person over time while staying authentically true to herself. The YouTuber who wasn't afraid to tackle apologies and accountability head on. And of course, the one who taught us
How to trick people into thinking you're really good looking.
Infinite Scroll is a podcast produced, presented, and co-written by me, Lauren Meisner, for Centennial World. This episode was researched and co-written by Annabelle Ben-David. Editing is by Danny Fennick. Thank you so much for listening. I love you guys, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.